What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rant.Rave.Report. Today we're going to go over a couple of things. We have some news on a Prometheus sequel. We have some Gambit movie news. Have some information on a spin-off and/or sequel of the Fast and Furious series, Game Awards, and much more. So let's get right into it. So we've known for a while now that the Prometheus movie was going to get a sequel. We just weren't sure what that title was going to be, but now we have that news. It's going to be titled Alien Covenant, and a little bit of the plot was revealed to us. So essentially what's going to happen is the crew of the Covenant ship is going to be heading for a planet what they think is an uncharted paradise, but what happens to be the same planet that the ship Prometheus landed on in the last movie. So essentially the crew of the last movie was in search of finding out how humanity started. And I'm assuming that this is going to take off kind of in the same direction as the first one did. So Prometheus left off with the entire crew essentially dying, leaving one last remaining member and/or android member to be left, and that's David, played by Michael Fassbender. Now, while I'm a big fan of Fassbender's work and David from the last movie, I find it kind of funny that the last movie I saw Fassbender in, being Steve Jobs, is going to be kind of funny seeing him in a completely different role. Maybe he'll bring over one of the turtlenecks from the last movie, see him walking around the ship wearing a turtleneck, having an iPod in his hand. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is actually the second part of a three-part prequel that is supposed to be based off the beginning of the Alien series directed by Ridley Scott. Now, I'm definitely happy to see that they've gone back to the Alien title, showing us that they're actually trying to tie this all into the original series. Let's just hope this time that the crew of the Covenant is a little bit more, let's say, skilled than the group on the Prometheus ship. So moving on to Gambit movie news. So we've recently found out that writer-producer Simon Kinberg, who worked on the X-Men series, has revealed to us a little bit about the plot and kind of the direction that they plan on going with the Gambit movie. In a recent interview, Kinberg was quoted saying that the Gambit movie was going to be going in a little bit of a different direction than the other movies that he's worked on. Essentially, this is going to be more of like a sexy thriller kind of heist movie. Now, when you say heist thriller movie, that has me think, what other superhero movie was also a heist thriller movie? It's on the tip of my tongue. Let me think about it for a second. Heist, superhero. Heist, superhero. That's right. That movie, Ant-Man, was a heist superhero movie. Now I got it. Now, while I'm a huge fan of the Ant-Man movie and Paul Rudd's performance, I definitely see this as a problem moving into the future, especially since the Gambit movie is almost kind of copying the same kind of plot as Ant-Man. Now, right now it's hard to say because we don't have any specifics on exactly the story of the movie, but, right now by just calling it a heist thriller is already setting it right up next to Ant-Man in terms of expectations. But we definitely have a pretty long while till we hear more about the plot of this movie, so just stay tuned and I'll definitely be delivering more as it comes out. Next up is some news about the Fast and Furious series. Now, it's been recently announced that Universal is in the works of creating some spin-offs and some prequels to the Fast series. Now, right now we have 3 more movies are waiting to come out. Essentially, it's going to be 8, 9, and 10 that Vin Diesel is still working on and plans on doing. But after those movies are concluded, they plan on essentially moving the franchise in a little bit of a different direction. Universal Pictures chairman Donna Langley has been confirmed saying that they plan on broadening the reach of the series with these new movies. Now, while I am a huge fan of the Fast series and they've been around for most of my life, we have 3 more coming out right now. Plus, they plan on doing more movies. I mean, I love Vin Diesel and I love the plots and the action and the greatness of these movies. But I mean, I'm starting to get a little burnt out on the fast cars and the bald men. It's just getting a little too much. And I mean, unless they really revive this series and make it that much better, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold my attention and keep getting my money the way they've been. But I'm not going to be totally cynical and write off the movie series just yet. There are 3 more coming out, and chances are I'm probably going to see them. So definitely stay tuned for more news on the movie. Fast and Furious 8 is coming out April 14th, 2017, so we do have a little bit of time, but definitely keep your eyes open. Moving on to some news that I'm super excited about is that Lord of the Rings co-writer Philippa Boyens is planning on adapting the Merlin Saga book series. Now, for those of you who are unaware, the Merlin Saga is a book series that is written by T.A. Barron and is essentially a little bit different than the average Merlin story you might be used to. The plot of these books is essentially about a child version of Merlin who loses his memory, doesn't know how to use his powers, and essentially the plot is him kind of going through life, figuring out who he is and figuring out how to use his magical skills. Now, the rights to these movies was originally owned by Warner Brothers, but was recently picked up by Disney, and Disney is the one who kind of went out and found Boyens and wants her to write this script. Now, as of right now, it's kind of hard to say which kind of direction Disney is going to go in terms of doing these movies. Now, they could use the original source material and follow the books exactly page by page, or they could kind of take off of the Merlin we all know and essentially just grab parts from different stories of Merlin himself. And that's probably the way they're going to do, just to kind of give themselves a little bit more broader of a definitely a pool of ideas to work from. I myself am hoping to take a lot of inspiration off the BBC series of Merlin, just because the acting and the action and the entire plot of that series is just fantastic, and I'm really hoping that they grab some elements from there. But the absolute real reason why I'm super excited for this movie is that the minds behind the Lord of the Rings series are working on something else, and this super excites me. Now, while the Hobbit series was great, it didn't really live up to the expectations of Lord of the Rings, but really, how could it? The Lord of the Rings movies were probably one of the best movies of this generation, and it's really hard to, kind of get to that level. Now, with the same writers behind that story working on this Merlin story, one could only hope that they grasp the excitement and the action and the chaos of those Lord of the Rings movies. And, sorry Gandalf, you're getting pushed aside for a younger Merlin. Merlin shall not pass. Get out of here, Gandalf! So the last little bit of news I want to touch upon today is about the Game Awards that are going to premiere on December 3rd. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like everybody should tune in to watch this show. I definitely feel that video games don't get the recognition they deserve for the work that they're putting in. There's so much time and effort and design and just the amount of people that are working on these games. And I feel like movies and television get all these award shows on TV, like the Oscars and the Emmys and all that. And I feel like video games just aren't getting what they deserve. There's just so much more work that go into video games, I'm sure, than compared to like a TV show or a play. And while you don't get to see all of that work being done, not to actually play the games, you're like, wow, this is actually a great piece of art. And that's kind of what it is. It's an art team and a group of people working on a project. And I just feel like that these award shows are underplayed, and just I feel like everybody should just be watching, especially if you're a video game fan. Tune in, support the companies and the games you love playing. There's so many good games being nominated this year for Game of the Year. There's Bloodborne, there's Fallout 4. There's just so many games that I play that I absolutely support, and I just can't wait to tune in and watch. And there's so many places you can actually watch this show. You can watch it on IGN, you can watch it on Twitch, you can watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on Xbox, PSN. There's so many places you can check this out. So guys, tune in, check out the Gaming Awards, and let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any, favorite games that you're hoping to win these awards, or if you just have any, general suggestions on your thoughts, definitely leave them in the comments below. I'm also going to leave a link down below to show you the exact website that shows you all the nominees for each category, so you guys have an idea of kind of what you're looking at during the show. Alright guys, that wraps up this episode of Rant.Rave.Report. Tune in twice a week to see the same kind of format where I give the latest news on movies, games, TV shows, and so much more. Also guys, tune in to see the 2 new movie reviews I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm going to be doing Mockingjay Part 2, which should be coming out probably tomorrow morning, and then the night before, which should be coming out around Saturday morning. Both movies look absolutely great, and I can't wait to show you guys what I think about them. Alright, see you next time.